In this video, we shall solve FBISC Physics second year paper. This is pattern paper. So section A contains 17 questions and each question in this section contains 1 mark. So there are 17 MCQs in section A. Let us solve first MCQ. Two charges Q1 and Q2 are placed in vacuum at a distance d and force between them is F. If a medium of relative permittivity 4 is introduced between them, the new force will be. There are 4 options: F over 4, B by 2, option B is F by 2, option C is 2F, option D is 4F. We know that correct answer is F by 4. F1 is given as 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r Q1 Q2 over r square, where epsilon r is 1 in case of vacuum. So when new medium is introduced whose permittivity is 4, then the same equation becomes 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. Let us take it outside and write it as 1 over 4 Q1 over Q2 r square. This relation, as we know, is F1, where epsilon r is 1 in case of vacuum. So F1 over 4, in the question it is F over 4. So F over 4 is the correct option. Part 2 shows that 3 capacitor of 4 microfarad each are connected in such a way that net capacitance of their combination is 6 microfarad. It is possible if we are required to show the combination of these 3 capacitors, each of strength 4 microfarad. There are 4 options, all in series, all in parallel, 2 in series, and 1 parallel, 2 parallel, and 1 series. We can check all 4 options. On checking, we shall know that the sum of 6 microfarad is possible only if when 2 capacitors are connected in series and 1 in parallel. Let us explain this. When 2 capacitors are in series, then equivalent capacitance is given by reciprocal sum. So 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 gives 1 over 2. This one. And cross multiplying this gives equivalent of these 2 capacitors is 2 microfarad. Now put this 2 microfarad equivalent capacitor with the third capacitor in parallel combination. In parallel combination, the capacitance is linear sum of each capacitors. So 2 microfarad plus more microfarad is 6 microfarad. So option C is correct one. Now let's move to part 3. Slope of IV graph of a resistor is numerically equal to conductivity, resistance, conductance, resistivity. There are 4 options. The correct answer is conductance. How this is true? If current I is on y-axis and voltage x is on x-axis, from Ohm law, V equal IR, R1 over E equals 1 over R. So slope is delta I over delta V. This is same as we write slope for, as slope is given by delta y over delta x. We have taken delta I along x-axis and voltage along y-axis. We have taken current along y-axis and voltage along x-axis, which is equal to 1 over R. So IV graph gives 1 over resistance, which is conductance. This is slope of IV graph. So part 4 is which one of the following is correct for an open circuit? Terminal voltage is 0. Option 2 is terminal voltage is less than induced EMF. Terminal voltage is equal to induced EMF. And terminal voltage equals E minus IR, where R, small r, is internal resistance of the battery. So when there is open circuit, current is 0. No current flows in open circuit. Putting I equals 0 in this formula, we get VT equal induced EMF. So option C is correct. Part 5 states magnetic flux will be maximum when magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane area. Magnetic field lies parallel to the plane area. Area is held at an angle of 45. Magnetic flux density is perpendicular to the area vector of surface. We know that magnetic flux is dot product of magnetic field strength and the area vector A. So magnetic field is, the flux will be maximum when angle between area vector and B will be 0. Cos 0 is 1, which is maximum value of cosine. So this is possible. Cos is 0 degree when magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane area. Plane area is a scalar quantity and area vector is a vector quantity. So when plane area is perpendicular, area vector is parallel to magnetic field. When magnetic field and area vector are parallel, angle between them is 0. So part 6 of section A states a proton is moving along the x-axis of a solenoid carrying a current. The magnetic force on proton will be, there are 4 options: radially inward, option B is radially outward, option C is 0, option D is parallel to the axis of solenoid. So let us analyze this. We shall know that the correct answer is 0. How? Because magnetic force on a charge moving in magnetic field is given by Lorentz force law as F equal QV cross B. V cross B is some curl type magnitude. The third vector, the force vector, will be perpendicular to the plane in which curl of V cross B lies. We know that inside a solenoid, current carrying solenoid, magnetic field is uniform and along the axis of solenoid. As move all, charge also moves along the axis. So angle between B and V is 0, which gives 0 force. Question 7 is, a steady current is passing through a coil. Magnitude of self-induced EMF will be 0 L into delta I over delta T. B, option B is maximum, option D is minus L delta I over delta T. We know that induced EMF inside a current carrying coil is minus L delta I over delta T, where L is the answer is in the question itself. The question states that current is steady. When current is steady, it means it does not change with time. So delta I over delta T is 0. This gives induced EMF is 0 in this case. Part A states at high frequency in a capacitive circuit, the current will be large, small, 0, infinite. The current will be large. How? Because for capacitive circuit, we have reactance of the capacitor is given by 1 by 2 pi F into C. F is frequency of AC circuit and C is capacitance of the capacitor. We can rearrange it as F equal 1 over 2 pi C x C. This shows that when reactance is reduced, frequency is large. So when reactance is reduced, more current will flow. Frequency as well as current will be large. So the current will be large. Option A is correct. Part 9 states the peak value of AC source is 20 ampere. Its RMS value will be, we know that peak current of AC source is given as I0 and RMS value is I0 over square root 2. So 20 over root 2 gives 14.1. So option A is correct. Part 10, as highlighted here, the materials in which disordered structure of liquid is frozen are. From property of materials, we know that only amorphous solids obey this property, that disordered structure of liquid is frozen in amorphous materials. We know that examples of amorphous materials are common glass, plastic and rubber, and there are more such materials in which there is no long range order of atoms, or structure is similar to liquids but there is no long order. Part 11 states the temperature below which the resistivity of a superconductor falls to 0 is called. When there is a sudden change is related to terms such as critical, and this is by definition this should be a critical value of quantity, a temperature. So critical temperature is the one below which the resistivity of superconductor falls to 0. So the reason is that magnetic field is expelled due to Meissner effect and material enters superconducting state. The reason is explained in Meissner effect. Part 12 states in a half wave rectifier the diode conducts only positive half, only negative half of input cycle, both halves of the input cycle, any one half of input cycle. The answer is any one half of the input cycle. How we know that any one half of the input cycle? We know that diode conducts only when it is forward biased. In an AC input cycle, it conducts during each cycle whether it is positive or negative. When the cycle comes, it becomes forward biased, and then when there is no input, then it is reverse biased. Part 13 is the maximum kinetic energy of emitted photoelectrons from different material surface depends on the energy of emitted photoelectron depends on intensity of incident light, frequency of incident light, nature of metal, both frequency of incident light and nature of metal surface. The correct answer is both frequency of incident light and nature of metal surface. This is because from Einstein photoelectric equation we know that K maximum of emitted electron is equal to h mu minus work function phi. So this clearly shows that K maximum depends on frequency f and work function k phi k. which is related to properties of the metal. Part 14 is the rest mass of proton is infinite 0, 1.6 10 raised to power minus 27 kg, 3 into 10 raised to power 8 kg. The correct answer is B, 0, because photon moves with velocity c, and if we put V equal c in the Lorentz equations or in relations of relativity, we get m equals 0 from the relations m equal m naught gamma. So when gamma is infinite, m equals m naught into 0, which is 0. The type of spectra produced by atoms is continuous, band type, breaking radiation, and line spectra. We know that spectra of atom is line type spectra because there are discrete energy levels in atoms, so only sharp absorption or emission lines are possible from atoms. Part 16 is strong force. Nuclear force exists between option A is hadrons, B photons, C leptons, D muons. We know photons and muons. Hadrons are protons and neutrons, leptons are electrons, mu neutrino. These are leptons. So we know that strong force is between protons and neutrons, which are hadrons. So option A is correct. Last part is 17. The half-life of a radioactive element, which has only 1/32 of its original mass. It is given that m equal m naught by 32, which is left after 60 days. So time is 60 days. We are to find out half-life of the element, radioactive element. Options are 30 days, 15 days, 20 days, and 12 days. Let us put these values of time and remaining mass into decay equation. We solve decay equation m equal m naught e to the power minus log 2 over t of into time, plugging values of m as m naught by 32 and t as 60 days, and simplifying we get log 32 by log 2 equals 60 by t of. This gives t of as 60 by 5, which is 12 days. So with this we solve section A of the paper. For more solutions of this type of papers from Islamabad board, FBISC or other boards, please make comments, subscribe my channel, and give valuable suggestions.